latency natin is dire-diretso. Okay? Yan. So, may nagtatanong dito kung meron pa po bang recorded file. Normally, we don't give the recorded file talaga. Okay. Pero nagbibigay po kami ng recorded file kapag kapag may something na nangyari sa sa participant like nawala ng connection or na late. Pero if you want the recorded file of this training, mm, yeah, you can ask the MS to connect tomorrow, not now, okay? Kasi ngayon, nakapansin nyo, nagre-record siya and nasa YouTube siya for our own purposes or for our quality assurance purposes. Hindi po to naka-record sa YouTube just to give you sa iba. No. Naka-record to privately. Okay? So, yeah. But MST has sent you the training manuals, right? Before we start, and I'm pulling it right now. Pinupull ko po yung aking training. 1 second. Uh-huh. Three. So mag-share screen muna po ako, guys. Okay. Share screen 3. Share sound. Nakita naman po yung screen natin. Yeah, okay. So, yes. See. Ayan, kita naman pala. So our topic for tonight is regarding Project Management 101. So this is the introduction to traditional, hybrid, and agile project management. Test ko lang po yung mic. All right. Test mic. Okay. So you may type your questions on the chat box and we will entertain it after ng talk natin or before tayo magkaroon ng break. Okay? So ngayon, magpapakita muna po ako ng video regarding sa PMP. Kung hindi po to naging malinaw sa inyo, wag po kayo mag-alala. I-discuss naman natin to for the next slides.
What is PMP? PMP, or Project Management Professional, is a project manager certification offered by the Project Management Institute. Project Management Professional is the gold standard of project management, and it is the most desired as well as the recognized professional certificate for project management. A project management professional is an experienced project manager who is certified and trained to direct teams towards a project goal. Being PMP certified is recommended as it helps project managers in their career growth by making them eligible to apply for the best roles in the top companies globally. They stay abreast with the new technologies, network with other certified colleagues of their same field, and come across the best projects prospects. PMPs lead projects in almost every country without focusing on a particular geography or domain, making PMP truly global.
Alright, so yun ang regarding sa ating PMP. Okay, so kung nakikita nyo dito sa slide na ito, it's about, let's see, slide. So this is about the comparison of PMP and CAPM. Di ba nasabi ko kanina na I'm PMP certified? So maybe first time nito narinig, sir, ano ba yung PMP na yan? Napakahalaga na po ba? Napakahalaga po ba niyan or something na pwede po ko po bang ika-benefit? So PMP is a professional level. Having a PMP implies that you have the certification and skills required to apply the sound project management principles to the real world. While for the CAPM, recognized naman siya sa iba't ibang bansa, pero this is an associate level. So to further discuss, ang PMP versus CAPM, ayan po siya. So PMP is the gold standard of project manager that is recognized in 85 countries. CAPM, ganun lang din siya, paso entry level. Okay. So pansinin po natin sinabi dito, it is recognized over 85 countries. Okay. Take note pala, okay, sige. It is over 85 countries. Di ba nasabi ko kanina, nasa Canada ako. Doon ako talagang nag-work as a project manager. So, ang tanong, yung mga licenses ko ba dito, like, yung sa may master plumber, yung sa may materials engineer by DPWH, yung civil engineer ng PRC, nagagamit ko ba yung sa ibang bansa? Technically, no. Ang mga salutations na hindi ko siya pwedeng gamitin sa ibang bansa dahil bawal. Dahil ang Canada or anumang country niya, Australia, UK, or even Singapore, ay may mga tinatawag silang professional regulatory board. Same with here, the Philippines, we have the PRC that handles the professionals, yung pagka-screening nila. So, kung ano yung license natin dito, di natin siya pwedeng madalas. Most probably sa ibang bansa. But we can apply the knowledge. Okay, we can apply the knowledge, but having the salutation as recognition na i-add sa name mo, hindi siya pwede. Pero dahil PMP is international po yan, or we can say globally, you can add it on your name. So another thing, ano ba yung mga advantages ng pagiging PMP? If you are with your phone right now or in front of your computer, pag sinearch nyo sa Google, what are the advantages of PMP? Ang unang lilitaw dyan, mas mataas yung sahod. Hindi ko na lang sinama dito, pero it's over 20%. Most likely is 20% or more ang mas sinasahod ng mga PMP over sa mga hindi. Why? Kasi ang mga organizations na pag alam nilang PMP, ibig sabihin, alam mo yung pumasa ka sa exam. Alam mo yung parang globally standard na pagka-manage ng project management. I am not saying yung mga dito na may mga 10 years or more experience na hindi kayo talaga project manager. Pero we have this PMBOK guide or what we can say dictionary na ina-accept ng mga project managers or fellow project managers worldwide na para magkaintindihan kayo. Marami. Like, marami kasing pagkakaiba eh. Kunwari sa iba't ibang bansa, na hindi PNP, ang mga naging case ko, yung mga change management, iba yung kalakaran dito, over sa ibang bansa, yung sa mga resource management, as in marami, pati sa mga procurement, iba yung way. So, ang ginawa ng PMI, that was last 30 years ago, yes, PMI, that's holding PMP, it's over 3 decades na po to. And kung titingnan nyo sa internet, ang pumasa pa lang sa exam, it's over 2 million. Maliit po ba yun, sir, or malaki? Ang sagot dyan is maliit pa lang yun. Imagine, 30 years of running the exam ng PMP worldwide, tapos ang pumasa pa lang is 2 million. Imagine those numbers. Okay. As myself na nag-take ng exam, masabi ko mahirap siya. And as upon searching, siyempre, kamukha nito, tayo, di ba? Kayo mga architects sa mga dito, kayo mga accountants or doctors or kahit na namang field na sumali dito sa training na to. Kasi alam ko iba't ibang field yung mga sumali dito eh. Merong from marketing, merong from BPO, merong from accounting, merong from education. May nakita ko dito sa mga tao dito, participants na coming from education, in the educational field na grabe. Iba-iba. Okay? Right. So, ayun na nga. So, what are the educational requirements then? So, the educational requirements for the PMP is kailangan meron kang high school degree at least. Umihina po bigla audio. Is there something wrong with the audio? Okay naman po. I think it's your connection po. Okay. Clear naman po sa iba. So I'll proceed, okay? Okay. So let me proceed. So dito na naman tayo sa may educational requirements. So, ang kailangan mo lang at least ang education requirements ito is a high school diploma. Kaso, ang kailangan mo work experience is 5 years or more. If you are a bachelor's degree or master's or more, kailangan mo lang 3 years of leading and directing the projects. For the CAPM, kailangan mo lang is high school degree and work experience of 1,500 hours. Then, for the project management education, sa CAPM, kailangan mo ng 23. Sa PMP, it is 35. Sir, ano po yung contact hours na ito of formal education? Just like this training is 3 contact hours. Madalas, natatapos po kami dito mga 2 oras pa lang na natapos na kami or 2 hours and 10 minutes or 2 hours 20 minutes. Kung matapos man tayo maaga or hindi, still, dahil naka-declare ito as, kunwari sa PMI as 3 hours, as ginamit na rin ng iba na as contact hours, 3 hours pa rin po. Matapos man tayong maaga o hindi, 3 contact hours pa rin po ito. Common question po. Meron po nasusulat dito, work experience po daw is 5 years and leading and directing the projects or 3 years of leading and directing the projects. Ang tanong, kailangan niyo po ba maging project manager or project leader just for the PMI considered that your experience? The question is, no. As long you are part of the group, as long you are part of the project, kahit ano ka lang, project member, kahit project scheduler ka lang, as long you are part na nag-manage ng project, as long you are part na you have a role, sige, you have a role in that specific project, you can still declare as an experience and ang PMI naman, i-audit yan ng maayos and yeah, they will consider it as a work experience. It doesn't mean na hindi ka project manager, hindi ka na pwede mag-take ng PMP. Okay? One second. Okay. How much for the exam daw po? For the CAPM and PMF. PMP is around $550. Just check it on the pmi.org. Okay? PMI.org po siya. Okay. So, $550, kung di ka pumasa, I'm sorry, kailangan mo siya mag-take ng ulit. For the CP, I'm not sure, pa-check na lang sa website. I think it's around $250 or $350. I'm speaking with a USD here. Okay? USD, US dollars. So, kung di kayo sure, huwag yun na sana muna i-take. Okay? Where can we take the exam? We can take the exam anytime. Kasi once you have paid the exam, once you have create an account, tapos di ba sabi ko, bakit saan pang may mga ganitong experience? Kasi magkapasa po tayo ng ano yan, magkapasa po tayo ng resume, magkapasa po tayo ng COE, magkapasa po tayo ng essay na i-audit ng PMI. Wag niyo po sanang dayain. Kasi mga totoong auditing po ito. May mga kung search mo ngayon sa mga Google or sa YouTube, may mga na-ban na po na PMI dahil dinaya nila yung kanilang mga COE just to have this kind of experience. Don't do it po, please. If para lang makapag-take ng exam, idadayaan niyo po yung work experience niyo tsaka yung contact hours, hindi po kayo makakalusot. Dahil ang isa sa mga nag-audit dito, if you're familiar with Pearson Review, okay, 1 second. Microphone. Ayan. Alright. So, ayun na nga. Paano ba to? So, ayun na. Sabi sa ako nag-stop sa may PMI. So, ayun na nga. Si PMI, ang isa sa mga nito, ang nag-co-audit sa mga person review. Ang person review ay ang nag-handle ng exam sa mga NCLEX. NCLEX isa sa mga pinakmahirap na exam or isa sa mga recognized na exam sa mundo ng medical exam ng nursing. So, ang nangyari sa akin noon is nag-take ako ng online. Dati kasi it's face to face, pero dahil ng pandemic noon, nag-take ako noon, tinake ko siya sa online. Ang ginawa is di ako pwedeng tumayo during the exam, pero pwede ako tumayo after na break. Bago kami mag-start ng exam, nakabukas yung laptop, it is one-on-one proctor. Kasi binabantayan ka, nakabukas yung webcam all the time, tapos pinaikot sa akin yung laptop para ma-check yung room kung may mga nakadikit na posters or something na kodigo. And then, bawal ako mag-lip reading habang binabasa yung questions. Actually, nag-lip reading ako noon pero binigyan ako ng warning. Isa ko pang gawin daw, mapo-forfeit yung exam. And then, sabi ko nga, yung nagkaroon ng break, hindi ko pwedeng balikan yung mga dating questions. That's it. Kung ano yung nasagot ko before ng break, hindi ko na pwedeng palitan. And ito nga, the exam is about 200 multiple choice questions in the span of 4 hours sa PMP. Well, for the CAPM, it's around 150 multiple choice questions. Bakit ko to dinidiin sa pag-discuss? Napakahalaga po nito sa atin, sa mga gusto mag-take as project management. Okay? If you want to dive on to project management, then PMP is one of the I recommend na certification courses. Marami po dyan. Pero sabi ko nga, PMP is one of the gold standard na if you want to go sa ibang bansa and to be recognized then. So, moving forward, validation of certification. So, this is valid for 3 years, while for the CPM is valid for 5 years. Tulad dito sa ating bansa, we need to earn PDUs or tinatawag nating CPDs. While for this PNP, you need to earn 60 PDUs. Okay, you need to earn 60 PDUs or tinatawag 60 CPD. So how can you earn that? So kamukha nito pag-attend ng mga seminar, ikaw yung mas mukha pa seminar, magbabasa ng libro. So same with kung paano yung pag-earn ng CPD units with PRC din. While for the CAPM exam, you must retake the exam every 5 years. Alright. So, ang ginagamit pa lang nating reference dito, guys, is ang ginagamit pala nating reference dito is yung PMBOK, PMBOK. Okay? So, that is Project Management Body of Knowledge. Okay? Project Management Body of Knowledge. So, we are using the 6th and 7th edition. The latest is 7th edition, pero hinaluan ko po siya ng 6th edition kasi may mga concepts po ako na gustong gamitin sa 6th edition para sa training na ito. Okay, again, this is just the fundamentals. We're not discussing everything. If we need to discuss everything, we need at least 40 hours for traditional and 30 hours for the agile. So 70 hours po yun para mag-deep dive. Yes, you've heard it right. It is 70 hours para mas ma-deep dive yung agile and traditional. All right? So, guys, every 3 to 5 years, yung Project Management Institute or yung tinatawag nating governing body ng PMP or what we call PMI, they conduct research to understand how the project management profession has progressed. So, the impact of emerging trends and how the responsibilities of project managers have changed. Okay? So, and keeping that in mind, the project management professional, nag-iba ito noong January 2, 2021. This will ensure up-to-date practices and equips the project managers with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed in today's modern project environments. So project management professionals need more diverse skills and approaches than ever before. Excuse me. The project management profession exam is evolving just like the project management profession. And the new PMP exam will focus on 3 domains. So what are those 3 domains? So those 3 domains are the people, process, and business environment. So kung tatanungin niyo po ako, kailan po ako nag-take ng exam? Nag-take po ako ng exam noong December 25, 2020. Yes, December 25 yung Christmas. Dahil wala akong magawa nung araw na yon. And gusto ko na talaga mag-take ng exam dahil di pa ako nagre-review ng 7th edition. Kasi 6th edition pa lang ako noon yung 2020, December 5, ay December 25. And I think the last date to take the exam is around December 27. And dahil tapos na rin naman, ay maniwala na December na 25, you can check my LinkedIn. Pwede tayo mag-connect. My name pala sa LinkedIn is Timothy James Madrid. Okay? Siguro type ko to dito para just in case na gusto niyo makipag-connect. James Madrid. LinkedIn. Okay. Alright, next slide. So ito na nga yung 3 domains natin. So, people, process, and business environment. Okay. So the new PMP exam will focus on providing a better reflection of real-world work practices across the value delivery spectrum to ensure that PMP certified professionals are equipped with the tools that they need to deliver the results. So the new PMP exam outline will cover both predictive approach, which is 50%, and agile or hybrid approach, which is 50%. Madalas na mga predictive approach na gagamit sa mga alam na yung result sa dulo. From the word itself, predictive. Ito yung mga construction, ito yung mga client-based projects, most of the time. And for the agile or hybrid approach, most likely sa mga kailangan ng more changes. Okay? Much more changes. So, ito yung mga software development projects. Ito yung mga mobile development projects or web dev. So, most of the time, nandito yung mga tech projects sa mga agile or hybrid approach. Madalas din nangyayari ang agile or hybrid approach sa mga marketing professionals nandito. Okay, sa mga marketing projects, sa mga digital campaigns, digital projects. So yeah, agile and hybrid approach can be used. Is predictive approach same as waterfall? Yes po. Same po yan. Kung napansin niyo, parang ang pagmukha nito is yung parang pahulog siya or parang water. So yeah, it's waterfall. Predictive approach and waterfall is pares lang po yan. They are synonym to each other. Nakita ko lang dito sa type ni Sir Rico. Okay, so what is a project then? So when do we consider ang isang project? So we have 4 main bullets or 4 main 4 main points to consider a project is a project. So first is a timeline. So when we say a timeline this is nothing what a project is nothing but a temporary endeavor that we have undertaken or that we undertake in order to achieve an output, and that particular output is nothing but a product or service where we get some result by the end of that project. So the project will definitely have a fixed timelines. So whenever you undertake any project, you will have a fixed start date, you will have a fixed end date. So project, meron niyang simula at katapusan. Yung tayo not sure kung may mga students dito. Okay, mga students dito, wave, okay. So, sa mga students dito, di ba kayo nga tayo, nabigyan nga tayo ng mga term projects, mga research project. Mga teacher natin sasabihin, oh, ito gawin niyo to ng ganitong araw. So, tapos gawin niyo to, kailangan ito matapos ng ganitong araw. So, meron tayong deadline na tinatawag. So, meron siyang start date and deadline. Or tinatawag ng end date. Pero mas gusto ko gamitin minsan yung word na deadline para mas madiin. Okay. So apart from that, we have resources. Okay. Apart from the project, we'll always consume resources. Now, when we talk about resources on the project, we consume resources not just about the human resources. We talk about here, but also other like the material resources. And for that matter, hindi lang siya, hindi lang siya in terms of human. So, pwede siyang money, pwede siyang human, or material. Depende nga sa kind of project na pinag-work ninyo. Madalas kasi pag sinabi nating resources, napaka-misconception na sinasabi nila, resources, human lang yan. No. Pag sinabi ng resources, it is composed by 3 subcomponents. So, it is the human first, second is money, and third is material. Again, is human, money, and material. So those are resources when we are speaking, say, sa project. Next is project also uses certain tools. Okay? Because project involves number of activities in order to perform those activities, it's important for us to use certain tools. At times, it depends on the complexity ng isang project. So as well as the presence of the team across regions. So if you have team members across regions, then it's also very, very important for us to use certain tools which will help us in collaboration of these team members. So there are certain special tools and techniques that are required to be used on the project. Kung maliit lang yung project ninyo, kahit ako mismo nakakita ko ng mga projects that are performed like simple tools like Microsoft Excel, and for that matter, we can also use certain templates can be created on the Microsoft Word. And of course, we can use email as one of the media to communicate. Apart from the course, the most important communication should be the verbal communication. So we need to use definitely certain tools, but if we need to talk about a complex project, then definitely a lot of things needs to be also be involved in executing a complex project. Because number of activities will be more of stakeholders, will be more that of the project, could be part of some program, pwede ito mag-turn into portfolio, and this is strategically aligned to the or to the organizational objective. Okay? So mamaya, sabi ko yung program and portfolio, i-discuss natin yan mamaya, okay? So, when you execute the project, sino pa ba gagamit ng mga tools? Sino pa ba yung mabibigyan ng timeline? Sino ba yung mabibigyan ng resources? Siyempre, ang team. When you execute the project, you will always have a team of people working with you. Now, guys, when we talk about a team of people working with you, ang pinag-usapan dito ay ang truly ay cross-functional team. What do I say or mean by cross-functional team? Okay? When I say cross-functional, I don't expect only people from the same function to be part of the project. Okay. So let's use example ng IT hanggang matapos yung discussion, okay? Para meron tayong flow, okay? So example, if you are working on an IT project and you're forming a team, obviously you will need people who can perform various activities as part of the project. So you will have people who can do the analysis testing, who can do the requirements, who can do the system analysis, who can do the coding testing, deployment. So all of this function needs to be integrated. And then we need to form a team which is truly a diverse team, which is truly a cross-functional team, which will help you in fulfilling and completing all of those project activities, whatever is relevant based on the kind of the project that you're working on. So to summarize, guys, a project will always have certain timelines, start date and end date. So they will consume resources, material resources, human resources, and other resources. So they will use certain tools depending sa complexity ng yung mga projects and number of people involved. And obviously, project is executed with a team of people or even with different stakeholders. All right. So, why project starts? Ano ba yung mga nag-trigger ng mga project? So, we have this on our screen. So, demand in the market. Pag yung mga individuals or mga tawag dito o yung mga investors nakita ng potential ng isang product, siyempre magkakaroon ng demand yan. So, yeah, that would trigger a project. Next is strategic opportunity sa mga marketing professionals na nandito, more on the um sa mga real estate, ganyan. So strategic opportunity is one also of the triggers sa project. Okay? Next is customer requirement. Sa mga engineers, architects dito, example, meron kayong customer, sasabi niya, gusto ko gayahin yung bahay na nakita ko sa magazine. 50 square meter lang po, pero meron siya ganitong window, meron po siya ganitong uh, roof, meron po siya ganitong pathway or garage. So, meron siyang requirements or specific kind, meron siyang specifications. So, from the word itself, requirement. Technology advancement. Um, Technology advancement. iPhone, Android, Apple and Samsung, I mean. Okay? Apple and Samsung, I mean, paiba-iba po yan. Okay? So, paiba-iba po yan ng flagship every year. Okay? So, walang katapusang technology advancement sa mga nasabi kong brands. So, every year, meron silang project, ay meron silang flagship phones na ginagawa, which is a project. Next is legal requirement. So sa paggawa ng mga batas ng mga congressman, mga senators, yeah, that's also triggers of a project, legal requirement. So if we have reason why project starts, we also have reasons why project ends. Okay, wait lang po, yun lang po akong second. Okay. So if we have reason why project starts, we also have reason why project ends. First of all, we have objectives are acquired. Kapag yung project mo is nagkaroon na ng proper handover sa clients, okay? Okay. May doctor or healthcare manager. Okay. So, as parent is how should I address you? Hi, doc. Sorry. So, example, so objectives are acquired po sa doctor or sa health. Kunwari, meron kayo upcoming operation, di ba? Tapos, ang required okay, nawala po ba? Okay, nandito na po ako. Okay na po ba? Okay, sorry, nakat po yung internet. Okay, so continue. So sabi ko nga, sa example, sa mga healthcare professionals dito, meron ka upcoming operation, tapos meron ka specification na dapat matapos mo ng ganitong oras, dapat ma-deliver mo 'to ng yung ganitong procedure. So, ayun, kung natapos naman yung procedure mo on time and walang nangyaring tawag dito na problema, so yung mga objectives mo is acquired na nun siya. So, na-deliver mo sa mga pasyente mo or sa family client sa ano family ng client. Yeah, ang family 6 nagkakaroon clear na po. Okay. So next reason is objectives won't and can't be met. Okay. Putol po. Audio. Very choppy ang audio. Ngayon po, okay na po ba? Can you hear me? Audio is good on my end. Okay, sorry. Okay. So, objectives what and can't be met. Okay, putol lang po kanina. So, objectives what and can't be met. So, one of the reasons why objectives what and can't be met. Okay. So, ang nangyayari po nun is yung mga force majeure, sabihin na force majeure and acts of God. Okay. Intermittent from time to time. Okay. I'll try to change my connection for a bit. So, I'll discuss ko lang po the objectives what and can't be met. So, objectives what and can't be met, ito yung mga mismanagement, mishandling ng mga staff, mishandling ng mga budget. So, kung wala ng budget dahil na mismanage siya, so, ibig sabihin, matapos na agad yung project. Okay? So, yun po yung sa slide na ito. So, next slide is about projects and operations then. Okay, one second. I'll try to change my connection. Lang po, mawawala po ko in a bit. Mag-change po ang connection. Ayan po, mas okay na po ba? Naririnig po ba ako maayos ngayon? I change my connection. Okay na po. Okay, thank you. So sorry for the short interruption. So let's continue. Now let's discuss what is yes po, medyo okay na po. So now let's discuss what is projects versus operations then. So there's a lot of confusion regarding projects and operations. Projects and operations. Akala nila nag-work sila sa project pero nasa operation sila. Or the vice versa. Akala nila ang pinag-workan nila is operations pero nasa project sila. So isa rin itong reason bakit ginawa yung PMBOK just to clear yung mga confusion na ganito and magkaroon ng isang one sound dictionary, one sound knowledge. Okay? So there's a confusion that people might have is to understand the difference between project and some operation activities. So let's quickly take a look at the difference ng dalawang ito. Okay? So some of these things we have already covered, like projects are temporary, meron tong start date, meron siyang deadline. So it's temporary and which is undertaken as I mentioned. So in order to produce some product result or to provide some services, projects have defined start and end date. So that's another thing which already spoke about. So tasks are unique. So to a project is so every project outcome that we get is unique. So when you undertake a project, you are basically creating an outcome, which is a unique product or a unique service or some unique result that you are producing by the end of the project. Okay. So project is also undertaken in order to have achieved a unique goal. So there should be some unique goal which is actually drafted in the beginning ng iyong proyekto. So predefined po siya. From the word predefined sa project, naka-define na kung ano ang goal mo at ang ina-expect ng client. So as I mentioned, the goal could be to identify the potential in the market. The goal could be to identify yung compliance ng regulatory requirement. Yung mga kanina, yung mga triggers na nasabi ko. Regulatory requirement ng isang bangko for which you have undertaken a project. So you will always have a predefined goal. And when you undertake project based on that goal. So these are the typical characteristic of project. So when you undertake a project, you will definitely be able to relate some of these characteristics to those projects. However, if you look at the operational activities, they are completely different. The operational activities, okay, are routinary, okay, in nature. They are more ongoing activities. Okay, take the word of routinary and ongoing. They are more ongoing activities and the processes that needs to be performed, and mostly that they are repetitive. They are cyclically, you will have to perform those activities maybe every week, every month, or every year. So sort of those are cyclically activities. And the whole objective of undertaking or doing the operational activities is to sustain in the market, is to sustain in the business. So let's take a quick example. You are working on IT application, on IT product. Now you have created that product and you have launched it in the market. So once you launch in the market, people start using it, customers are start using it. And then you also have to kick off the operational activities so that you can start supporting the product, which is being used by your customers. And then your operational activities will begin when customers start using the product. So I am sure they might have come across certain incidences, they might come certain issues, they might come certain problems while using the product, then they will raise those problems, those issues as an incident, and it will be assigned to you, to the operational team. And then, dito is magkakaroon ng investigation, then it's fixed. So those are like the operational related activities which are going to be part of the product. Once the product is launched, then the operational activities will begin, have your project activities to stop. So once you accomplish a project to launch that IT product, so then the project is ended. So we will have to start the operational activities. So the key here is to have a proper handover between the projects and an operation activities. Okay? Magkaroon ng proper handover sa project team papunta sa operational team. The operational or the operational team need to work very, very closely towards the end ng project. So not only these days, we ensure that the operational activities or operational team members or operation is involved very early in the project activity itself so that they would know what the project are we working on and what product are we creating. So both activities are certainly important project as well as operations. Excuse me. So as well as operations, but they certainly differ in terms of what they are performed as well as certain characteristics that they possess. Now let's move forward with project management. So ano ba yung project management? You may be an aspiring PMP certified, okay? Okay, so you may be aspiring PMP certified, and for that matter, you may be meron kayong 10 years or 15 years of experience that you have gained quite a lot of knowledge over the period of time. But if you are not applying that knowledge, then it's no use. And that's when the project management comes to the picture because it gives you some framework in order to apply that knowledge. Okay. So, and that will then give us a lot of benefits we are which will are going to talk about very soon. Okay? So kung meron ka 10 years or 15 years of knowledge and if you are not applying si project management practices, then it's no use. Walang kwenta yon. So this is where the 6 P's of project management comes to the picture. So what are the 6 P's of project management? Not sure kung narinig yun na ito or something na na sa mga ibang training seminar. Okay? So ito nga, the 6 P's of project management is proper planning prevents poor project performance. I repeat, proper planning prevents poor project performance. All right. Guys, if you will agree with me that planning is one of the most important stage ng project. So this could be done upfront as so the whole project it could be done on an adaptive fashion. It's also done in a rolling wave fashion. So there are different ways to do the planning definitely. Okay. So stick to that plan. Okay. But these days agile and with a lot of changes that happening on the project, it makes more sense of us na mag-adapt na sa agile project management. Kaya nung 2021 siguro dahil katapusan ng pandemic, 'di ba? No, no, no. Di katapusan ng pandemic. Like nasa verge na yung pandemic na patapos na siya, doon nila na-release and nag-focus yung PMI sa agile. Kaya sinama na rin nila sa exam yun. Okay? So what are the advantages of project management? So, yung mga nakasulat dito is self-explanatory lang po yan. Di ko na siya i-expound. Pero I want to focus on the word efficiency and efficacy. Okay? Pag sinabi natin kasing efficiency, so this is often measurable. Okay? Meron siyang susukat. Meron siyang basis na pwede mo siyang masabi to what extent. Okay? So, this is often measurable. This is the ability to avoid wasting materials, energy, efforts, money, and time in doing something or in producing a desired result. Okay? So, in a more general sense, it is the ability to do things well and successfully and without waste. Okay? While for the efficacy, so this is the ability to produce a desired or intended result. Okay? All right. So next is what are the skills required for a project manager? Ang sabi po ni Ma'am Marie, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, one of the sa mga sikat na quotes in regards to planning. Okay. One second. Wait lang po. Okay. What are the skills required naman po? Okay. So the skills required po guys, first na nakita nyo dito is communication. Okay, so sa mga project managers dito or leaders, I believe na mag-agree kayo sa akin na 90%, yes, 90, 90% of the time you will find the project manager communicating through some tools. It could be just by sending yung emails, it could be yung push communication, it could be yung pull communication, it could be yung mga status reports. It could be attending meetings, communicating about the risks, prioritization, negotiating, of course, collaborating with the stakeholders. So communication is certainly very, very important skill that is required sa project manager. Okay. Another thing is, of course, yung leadership. Okay. Now, whichever the structure that you have in your organization, okay, uh, maybe ang organization nyo is matrix structure or typical yung hierarchical structure that we see or functional structure, you will always have leadership. So that it is definitely required. So even your team members who are working with you on your project, whether they report on you or not, but still need a leadership. Leadership doesn't mean that you need to always have a report. So everybody will be a leader. So everybody can be a leader in themselves because we need to influence. Hindi kayo project manager, we need kasi to influence other people, right? So we need to inspire them to do the right thing, to do their roles. Okay. For the team management, effective team management is important. So project manager should be a people person so that you should be able to empathize with your team effectively. Should be able to understand what team needs these days. For example, we talk about the servant leadership. We expect that the project manager to be a servant leader so the team, whatever the team needs, if that's what required. So obviously the project manager is the one who is supporting the team in getting the necessaries of resources at the right time. Next is negotiation skill. So negotiation skill is very, very important because you are negotiating with your stakeholders. When we say stakeholder, guys, so these are the people that is involved sa project. Of course, nandito yung mga nandito na yung kung sino yung sponsor ninyo, yung project manager, yung project team, um, customers. Do you think they are still part of the project? Yes. Because sila yung end user, di ba? Ang customer is still part or considered as stakeholder kasi sila yung magbibigay ng feedback. Sila yung magbibigay ng feedback after ng proper handover ninyo sa operations team. So it doesn't end the project ends. Pero there still have yung mga maintenance. Dito ba yung magkakaroon ng mga feedback? Tapos meron tayong mga iba't ibang versions. Yung sa mga parke lang, sa mga public, ano nga natin, projects Once na na-open niya, pag may mga nakitang issues, like, example lang, yung mga sa water, o sa line, or uh, yung function nito hindi nag-work na maayos, doon papasok yung maintenance or operations team. Okay? Okay, so sa negotiation. So you are negotiating with your stakeholder.